there's no need in me pretending. Oh, I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. Open eyes. I give you everything. Empty yourselves. You deserve my full attention, and nothing less than my devotion. So speak to me and I will listen, and I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. Oh, oh, oh. You can have my heart. You can have my heart. Oh, oh, oh. You can have my heart. You can have my heart. Be the Lord of my emotions and set me free from selfish motives. So search me till there's nothing missing, and I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. Oh, oh, oh. You can have my heart. You can have my heart. Oh, oh, oh. You can have my heart. You can have my heart. Oh, oh, oh. You can have my heart. You can have my heart. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can have my heart. You can have my heart. We are open. You can have it all. So take it and consume me and fill me till all that's left is you. And consume me and fill me till all that's left is you. Consume me and fill me till all that's left is you. And consume me and fill me till all that's left is you. Consume me and fill me till all that's left is you. Consume me and fill me till all that's left is you. Consume me and fill me till all that's left is you. Consume me and fill me till all that's left is you. Come and consume every room. It all belongs to you. It all belongs to you. Come and consume every room, God. It all belongs to you. I belong to you. Come and consume every part. It all belongs to you. It all belongs to you. Come and consume. It all belongs to you. It all belongs to you. Come and consume every room, every room. It all belongs to you. It all belongs to you. If you want my heart, you got it. You got it. You got it. If you want my heart, you got it. You got it. You got it. If you want my life, you got it. You got it. You got it. If you want my yes, you got it. You got it. You got it. If you want my heart, you got it. You got it. You got it. If you want my life, you got it. You got it. You got it. If you want my yes, you got it. You got it. You got it. If you want my heart, you got it. You got it. If you want my ways, you got it. You can have it. If you want my heart, you got it. You got it. You got it. If you want my ways, you got it. You can have it all. If you want my heart, you got it. You got it. You got it. We belong to you. Make me like you. Make me like you. Take it all away till all that's left is you. Take it all away. Take it all away. Take it all away till all that's left is you. Take it all away. Take it all away. Take it all away till all that's left is you. Take it all away. Take it all away. Take it all away till all that's left is you. Take it all away. All my sin, all my shame, all my fear. Take it all away till all that's left is you. Take it all away. Take it all away. Take it all away till all that's left is you. Till all that's left is you. Left is you. Take my sin away. Take this hard heart away. Take my shame away. Take my fear away. Till all that's left is you. Take it all away. Take it all away till all that's left is you. Take my lust away, take my shame away, till all that's left is you. 'Cause I want more of you and the less of me. You were all I want, till all that's left is you. 'Cause I want more of you, 'cause I want more of you. Nothing left but you, till all that's left is you. So take it all away, take it all away, take it all away, till all that's left is you. Take it all away, take it all away, take it all away. My heart is an open space for you to come and have your way. I'm open, I'm open. My heart is an open space for you to come and have your way. I'm open, I'm open. My heart is an open space for you to come and have your way. I'm open.
could be a start. But you're busy already with tech.
Yes, for now.
Wait, Spiff, you've been here for how many years now?
Technically, I've been here for 1 year now. Like
In
almost
Manila?
a year in
Okay,
Manila.
Okay.
But I schooled in Cebu. I did my BSc in Cebu, University of Cebu.
Oh, okay.
Studied marine transportation.
Marine transportation.
Yes.
Because that time you wanted to be
A sailor, a seaman.
a seaman. Okay. And that happened, right? I mean, you were
Yes, it
on a ship.
happened. I was on a ship from 2019 till 2020.
Okay. Wow.
Before the pandemic, I got to go home.
Oh. Okay.
Then I came back this last year for my license, but in
Yeah.
the middle of it, I think things changed.
Yeah. How was that experience for you, being on the ship?
It was a good experience because you learn how to tolerate people. Like you have to learn it practically.
Yeah.
Then you have to learn how to stay with people that you've never seen in your entire life. Then you become a family over a period of time.
That would be a lot of different nationalities, internationals, right?
Yes, on my ship we had 9 different nationalities.
Oh. Were there Filipinos?
Of course.
Of course, yeah. Filipinos are everywhere.
Yes, there are so many Filipino seamen.
Okay, cool. And then Charlene,
Yes.
you've been in the Philippines for how many years?
Just about 2 years.
Just about 3 years. Okay.
Yes.
What brought you to the Philippines?
So we came because my husband was posted here for his job.
For
Yeah.
his job. Okay, wow. How was that transition here? Because that's completely a new environment. I mean,
Yes.
Singapore is a lot different than Philippines.
Well, I mean, the area that we stay in over here in BGC, it's easy to get used to,
Okay.
right? So that helped on a certain front. But I think the preparation coming up here was a little tough in that you don't know what to expect. You're coming to a different culture. I mean, yes, there are Chinese over here, but it's still a different culture. You don't know what it would be like. You basically you have to start from ground zero. You have no family. My only family here would be Sean, would be my husband.
Right.
Yeah, so we're starting from ground zero, and we came during the pandemic when things were basically not really locked down, but very limited interactions with other people. Church was still online.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's what it was like at the start. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you were volunteering a lot
Yes.
during that time. Question though, was there a time when you wanted to go home?
Was there a time? I don't think I have a choice about whether to stay here. But I think there are times when I definitely missed home more than others because I'm generally a very homely person.
Which means you wanted to just be at home?
Yes.
Okay.
Like even now over here, I'm very happy just staying at home.
Yeah.
But I know that for this time period, this is where we're supposed to be. Of course, before my husband accepted the job posting, we prayed about it. And yes, it's a big move, it's a big change, and I don't like change. I just don't like change. But if God says go, then okay, I will go. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I will
Is this
go.
the first time you're out of
Yes.
Singapore? Oh.
Ish.
I mean, long term, I guess.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
wow. How about you? Was there a time that you wanted to go home?
Several times.
Several times. How did you overcome that? I mean, do you still want to go home, or do you feel this has become home? or-
He has become home over a period of time because at first I was just coming for my license. I was like, okay,
Right.
get my license, go back to work.
Yeah.
Simple plan. So in the middle of it, I was praying about it and talking to God about it, and He was like, "That's not the direction to go this season." I'm like, so where?
Yeah.
I had just a simple plan: get my license done, look for a company, go to work, start up life, and it's easy from there going forward.
Yeah.
But I was praying, and the Holy Spirit was telling me that's not the direction to go at this time. So I sat down in my house, and I think I cried sometimes. I was just there sitting down. Okay, what am I going to do? I already spent a lot of money
Yeah.
for papers, for the license.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do going from here? And I prayed, and opportunities came up where I got somebody to partner with me to start a business. Then we started a business with Army last year too, and other opportunity came as time is going along the way. But so there were several times I thought of going home.
Really? What kept you here?
Well, I'm going to mention Amer's name.
Yeah.
So I met Amer, we got talking, then the worship team also, we have
Very
apart
involved.
from just anointed people, they are involved with your daily step. They want to see you grow literally. So that community also. Then I met people in church too.
So you've been able to establish relationships and friendships with people from church?
Yes, actually that helps a long way.
Really? Okay.
Yes, it did.
For you, has that become a community for you
Yes, for sure. So, I mean, in the first year, it was difficult because everyone was at home. The only people that I hung out with would have been my husband's colleagues, but they would be busy on weekdays. So
That's true.
so on weekdays, I would be all alone. So I think for the first year, I felt quite lonely. But I know that, or rather, even before coming here, I knew that I needed to get connected to the church. Because back home, the church was my main community. So when things started opening up, I started volunteering, and that has become my main community now.
Nice. When did you feel you settled in the transition here? Coming from Singapore, coming from Nigeria, when did it become like, okay, this is home? I mean, at least at this season, this is home for me now. When did that happen for you? Do you remember that? Do you remember when it switched?
So I think because we are here for a job posting, you sort of have no choice but to recognize this as home for now. But I think when you're talking about home, you're talking about getting comfortable.
Yeah.
And for me, I think that was when I got connected with the church. When I started getting to know people, started building my community, this felt more like home. Like I had people to go to when I'm down, or if I just need someone to chat with or hang out with, I could call my church friends. So that's when it became more of home to me.
Oh, that's nice. How about for you?
For me, if I want to be honest, it should be within this year.
Only within this year?
Yeah, it was this year because I still was having my plan. Okay, yes, God, you want me to do, maybe you just want me to be in the worship team, right? Okay, I'll be there and still go along my business. And when I'm ready, I would leave.
Yeah.
And then my housemate left first, January or so. Then I had to put myself together. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. Then I settled in and said, okay, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to be here for a long time.
Okay, well, here's a question. If, there are people who are watching and there are people who are listening to this, if you can give an advice or an encouragement or insight maybe for people who are starting anew, starting afresh, they've gone through transition, they've gone through a major change in life, what would be your encouragement or your advice to people who would be listening right now?
Oh, well, for me is you should be able to trust God that He would not mismanage your life. So
Trust God that He will not mismanage your life.
Yes. If you trust Him, He's going to guide you through every step. And the truth is that He didn't promise that it was going to be an easy journey. He only said that He will be there with you during those times.
Wow.
So He didn't ever say, oh, it's going to be so easy, just come along. And we have that historical proven in the Bible. You could see it from Moses, from Abraham, from David. He was consistent. We have a God that is there with us in every season of our life.
That's wonderful. Wow. Wow. Charlene, any thoughts?
Yeah, just echoing his thoughts. Trust God. Remember who God has been in your life, what He has done in your life, and just trust Him that in this new season He will bring you through. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for being here, and thank you for giving encouragement and insight to the ones who are watching today. We're grateful for for you being here.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, but not until when I was in my 20s when I followed and responded to that call. And it was scary because, change is always scary. Transitions are going to be inevitable. Change is always going to happen. But I think for me, it was like what you said, being able to put my life in the hands of the one who has in control of my future. It's often said, you may not know what the future holds, but at least you know who holds the future. And so I think that's what made a difference for me. I had to let go of my personal ambitions. I had to let go of my personal dreams. I had dreamt of wanting to be a doctor. I was in pre-med at that time in University of Santo Tomas, but I wanted to respond to the call of God, and later on it happened. But it is scary to make a decision that you don't know what the future actually holds for you. So, but I do remember in Genesis where Joseph, if some of you might remember his story, Joseph has had several transitions and changes in his life. He was the favorite of his dad, which is good for him, but in the same breath, was not so good because his brothers didn't like him because of that. So he had to transition because he was thrown into a pit and sold into slavery, was sent to Egypt. And as a result, because when he was sent to Egypt, that was a totally new environment. It was a totally different, place where he was unfamiliar with and definitely uncertain. He had to learn new skills and new abilities. I'm sure because he was the favorite of dad back home, he didn't have to do a lot.
Yes.
Because dad had to take care of everything for him. But now he's on his own. And so he had to fend for himself. He had to take care of himself. And then he was falsely accused. And another transition was he was sent into prison for a crime that he did not commit. And so now he's in prison. This transition totally blew him away, or at least, I guess, God took him off guard, and he didn't understand why it was happening. But towards the end of his life, it's interesting when he got reconciled back with his brothers and his father now moved to Egypt with him. There's a verse in Genesis chapter 50, verse 20, when it said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." And I look at that verse, and it's interesting how Joseph did not hold any grudge against God, nor towards his brothers, because he could have kept that unforgiveness and bitterness in his heart towards his brothers. You threw me into the pit, you sold me into slavery, this is what happened. But God had orchestrated everything, like what you said. Trust God, He does have a plan. You said something like, He will not mismanage your life. That's exactly what happened to Joseph. It seemed like from the outside, his life was being mismanaged. Why was I in the pit? Why was I thrown in prison? Why was I now left on my own without my brothers and without my family? I feel so isolated. And yet, at the end of his life, or towards the end of his life, he did not hold any grudges, not against his dad, not against his brothers. And then he said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." There was a level of not just acceptance, but there was a level of embracing that, Lord, you have my good on top of your mind. In fact, Romans chapter 8, verse 28, God has the ability to cause all things through the transitions, through the changes, God is able to cause all things to work together for my good, ultimately for His glory, because we love Him and we're called according to His purpose. And I think that's important, purpose. An understanding that God has a purpose for everything that goes on through the transitions, through the changes. And sure, transitions and changes are scary, and surely changes will catch us off guard. But an understanding that, okay, through all this, God will not mismanage. Through all this, God can cause all things to work together for good, for a purpose, ultimately for His glory. And so I want to encourage you all. Many of you, I'm sure, are going through transitions. You're going through uncertainty that you have no clue what the future holds. But there's a promise that God gives us in Jeremiah chapter 29. He says, I know the plans I have for you. That's the plan that He has for us. And He says, not for calamity, not for harm, but it is to give us a hope and a future. Hope and the future. You guys need to hold on to those two words. God has the plan. He knows the plans, and it is for your hope and for your future. And so again, we wrap up this time, I'm grateful for Charlene and Spiff being here today to give us an example of what it means to transition into something new, uncertain. We don't know what the future holds, and yet embracing it because there is someone who knows the future. And so I want to encourage you, continue to look to Him, the author and the perfecter of your faith. Keep looking up. God bless you. Have a great day.